PCN is brought to you in part by the following underwriters.
Welcome to another episode of PACTV Community News. I'm Walter Cicchetti, here with Julie Thompson. On this episode, we meet the finalists of the write-off competition at the Pembroke Library.
We also hear the story behind the yellow ribbons at the Pembroke Tree lighting and meet the Snug Harbor Community Chorus's new director.
We check out the unique Christmas production of It's a Wonderful Life with Americana Theatre Company and hear some Irish Christmas music with the Lindsays in Kingston.
We speak with the Salvation Army about their season on giving, but we start in Duxbury. Sometimes there's no better way to get around town than in a trolley. For one day out of the year, that's exactly how folks in the town of Duxbury get from point A to point B. It's all part of the annual holidays in town, where there are events set up in several different locations. There are trolleys running on a steady schedule, and we spoke with the person who came up with this wonderful idea years ago.
Holidays was created 13 years ago. I had a dream one day, woke up and I told my husband, we're going to create this day and have trolleys throughout the town. He's like, sure, go back to sleep. I said, no, I'm going to do it. And that was when Holidays was born. And it's been a really fun time. It's my little baby. I love it. And I have great workers and helpers that make the whole day happen. And the reason I love it is to see all the little kids. And you watch them from their babies growing up. And now we have kids that are in 8th and 9th grade that have been coming to Holidays all their lives. It's pretty cool. A lot of towns have a village that is one village. We have multiple areas. So when the trolley really does the connection of everybody to be able to go from one place to the other without tons of cars. It's also been great for young kids, the middle-aged kids, that can go out on their own. And we don't have public transportation in Duxbury, so it's one afternoon that they can do it and have a lot of fun and have some independence. And we have events throughout the town. We have trolleys that bring us to Snug Harbor for choruses. We have puppet shows.
It has become a big thing. I think this is our 12th year, and we started off wondering how the community would receive it and found out it was so popular that we have to offer it 2 times now, and sometimes we still run out of room. This is Scrooge in the Christmas Carol by Dickens. We've tried others, but this seems to be a favorite. And every year we think about changing it, but people just want this one, and they come back year after year. It's more or less become a town tradition. Well, I think the main goal is just to introduce children and their parents to the Christmas spirit. And I always think of this day as the kickoff for the Christmas season.
We've got Santa Claus behind me, and he's seeing all the great children and giving them information of what they need to do for Christmas and being good. We've got popcorn across the street. We have, a pony ride is awesome. And you get the tickets over at Reed's to go to the pony ride. We're hoping to give money to the Interfaith Council for the oil fund. We have a box here today at Santa. If you can't do it today, drop it off anytime at Duxbury Mortgage, because we really want to help people in town who can't afford oil, and that's our big fundraiser today. Remember that it's the beginning of Christmas and the holiday season. Enjoy the day and be kind to people and bring all the fun of today out through the whole season.
This past spring, we met up with published author Kevin Simmons as he embarked on his 9-month tour in search of aspiring novelists looking to be published. What is being referred to as the 2017 write-off competition, they have narrowed their search down to 6 finalists, with the grand prize being a publishing contract from Wild Rose Press. All 6 would-be authors presented 3 pages of their work for the judges to hear them read at the Pembroke Public Library recently, and PCN was there for the event.
No matter what happens, and never give up your dream. tonight is almost like a celebration. These are the 6 finalists, and the publisher will choose, Kevin's publisher, she's not my publisher, will choose the final person among those people. But they had to come in and, for many people, the hardest thing of all, read their work. And you're surprised how many people really find that traumatic.
We got it down to 6 finalists. Those final submissions will be sent to my publisher, Rhonda Penders, the actual publisher of the Wild Rose Press, and she's agreed personally to look them over and decide if any of them can go any further.
They had to submit no more than 3 pages of their novel, and but we'd hoped before they submitted it that they were very close to, if not totally completed, with the entire novel. Because remember, the prize at the end is that they would get a publishing contract, and quite frankly, a publisher wants to see a completed novel before they offer you anything.
Tonight, people had to get up and read from their final award-winning, if you will, submission to the writing contest, what we call the write-off contest. They did a great job.
I think discipline is a big part of it. Writing is a creative endeavor, but it's also a business. And so I get myself together every day and I sit down at that computer and I write 3 books a year. Then there are other things you have to do too. You have to publicize your work, you have to do all the social media things, you attend conferences, you do events like this. But to me, you have to keep the focus, discipline, and tenacity. And keep, you know, and the advice I got once, which is great advice, is while your book is being considered, start writing the next one. Never just stop and wait, because that's not a good strategy. You have to strategize, how am I going to position myself best to be a good author?
I'm basically looking for talent. I want to make sure, you know, basic things, grammar, syntax, but more I want to see the spark. There is a spark involved in anybody who can write well and has been writing for a while perhaps, that sort of attracts you. And we found these 6 submissions definitely did. They were all over the place. We had some paranormals, we had some fantasies, we had some romance, we had a ghost story, and they hooked us in, if you will. They were very, very good.
The annual tree lighting in Pembroke Center always brings the townspeople out by the hundreds. But before Santa arrives and they light the trees, the town pays tribute to the numerous residents serving our country in the armed forces. Yellow ribbons are placed on the veterans tree for those currently serving, while blue ribbons are placed for the fallen soldiers. PCN dropped by to take it all in.
For the past 15 years, we have been putting this on. It's a grassroots organization. It's some Pembroke residents. We put this together, and we want it to be free for residents. So the only thing that they have to pay for is usually just a little bit of the food. But all the other events, so like the hay wagon, which in this year we have Clydesdales, which you haven't had those in a long time. So hay wagon, we have the moon bounce, we have cookie decorating, craft, roasting marshmallows over fire pits, all of these wonderful activities for families to enjoy, and it's a great way to start off the holiday season. The first year that I took over as chairperson, we just lit the one tree. And my vision was to try to light all the trees. The next year, we weren't able to accomplish lighting all the trees. We were only going to be able to do another tree. So we were trying to kind of come up with what could be the reason why we're lighting just one other tree. So I came up with the idea of doing a veterans tree. And I contacted the Pembroke Military Support Group and I said, would you be wanting to read the names so we could put yellow ribbons on the trees? So that was born. So we've been doing that for the past 15 years as well.
Today, the Pembroke Military Support Group, along with the town, is honoring our soldiers. We place ribbons on the tree. The families put the ribbons on themselves for all our active military from our town right now. My son was in the Army Reserve, and he was deployed to Iraq right after Christmas of 2003. And he went over to Iraq, 2 extensions. He didn't come home for almost a year and a half. And unfortunately, we lost him to complications of PTSD after that. Joined the group, great support group. At that time, we had 30 to 40 soldiers over in Iraq at any given time during that year. And We're just a great bunch of people. We'd all get together and we would just take care of each other and get us through it.
My husband and I are both military, Army National Guard, and my son Cole, who just graduated last year, finally put up his right hand and said, "I swear to defend my country." And so back in May he signed up, and he's now stationed out at Fort Lewis out in Washington State.
They're amazing. The support is incredible from this town. If we need something, they're there for us. You know, if someone needs to sit at someone's kitchen table and just have a cup of coffee and talk, someone is always there for you. And we just want to keep it going. You know, the world is never going to be peaceful, unfortunately. There's always going to be military, and we just want to let people know we're out there and we're for them and for our soldiers.
We stopped into the Snug Harbor Community Chorus holiday concert in Duxbury to meet the new director. Welcome, Dr. Randy McGee.
It's the Snug Harbor Community Chorus's annual Christmas concert, and we have a new director this year. His name is Randy McGee. Our former director retired last spring after 16 years with the group, so there's a big change, and it's our annual Christmas concert. Things are different. Nobody knows what's going to happen because everybody has their own routine, and so it's been interesting trying to figure out, you know, his ways, and we had the same director for 16 years, so obviously we're a little set in our ways, and so it's been a learning experience, I'm sure, for both the chorus and for Randy. There's a definite difference in the styles of the two directors. Our former director was older and more of an old school approach to things. Randy is a bit younger and maybe a little more contemporary. Many of our members have been with the chorus, some since the very beginning in 1999, so they are all excited about it. And it was interesting because we were not sure that those people would return, given that they had the same director for so long.
It's been great working with this chorus. They've been really receptive. We have made some changes. I've asked them to pay more attention to detail. So they are very excited about this concert, which makes me excited about this concert. And at this point, there's really not much we can do. The concert's going to happen, and I'm looking forward to it. Well, I didn't really know the people, and of course you have great people everywhere if you just take the time to get to know those people, and this is a great bunch of people. They're, like I said, really receptive, but they also have a lot of heart. They seem to take care of each other, and they love to sing. So they're hungry to sing better, to be more expressive, and I think they're going to rise to the occasion. I do love to be on the podium. It's fun, it's flashy, it's fun to be the center of attention, but I also love the behind the scenes, the week after week, teaching the people how to do things in a better way and hearing them make progress and make changes and things like that. And we have to deliver, and I believe we will.
Zuzu's Petals. Zuzu's Petals. If you know the meaning of this line, you're one of the millions of Americans that have made It's a Wonderful Life part of your holiday season traditions. Well, there's a new tradition in the works over at the Plymouth Center for the Arts, as the Americana Theatre Company is once again putting on a radio play of the Frank Capra classic. Audience members get to watch as the actors portray many different roles in this mock version of a radio play. We spoke with the director while some of the younger actors rehearsed.
This is a live radio play, so what we're kind of doing is reenacting the movie script within the context of a radio studio as if it's being broadcast live to thousands and thousands in the viewing audience. We're going to be doing the short scene that is actually a flashback scene when the kids are sledding in the snow and George's brother Harry cracks through the ice and young George takes care of his kid, jumps in the water, and has a bad ear infection for the rest of the show. The fun part is that you're actually looking through the actors at the microphone to see what the other actors are doing when they're off camera, As well, you're seeing the Foley artist actually recreating the sounds live. There is some recorded sound work, but the vast majority of what you're going to hear within the context of the radio play is being done by a Foley artist live in front of you. It's being done more and more. It's being done with Alfred Hitchcock's 39 Steps, for example. I know It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sure it's going to catch on because it's more easily produced. You're not actually recreating the full sets. You can set it within the context of a radio studio. The kids are basically local actors. They are members of the educational program that's offered through Americana Theatre Company, and they're kind of the cream of the crop of the kids that they deal with in various workshops that they offer throughout the year. Young George, young Mary, young Violet, young Harry, which is the brother who cracks through the ice. As well, they're sort of generalized background kids in some cases where they provide background voices for the family. Last year, I was involved as an actor in their production of Parfumery, and we played to audience numbers of 60 to almost 100. This show opens on Wednesday, December 6th, and runs Wednesday through Sunday, and then the next week, Wednesday, closing on the 16th. You should be able to close your eyes, and with the actors and the dialogue and the sound effects, recreate in your mind the black and white movie, It's a Wonderful Life. That's the deal.
And this form of entertainment is becoming more and more popular. The radio shows of the olden days, when I was a kid, we all listened to, and it was great. And you can make it all up in your head. This way, you get to see actors really not acting, and the sound effects being made by drumming on things, and it's goofy, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Now you're not old enough to have listened to these, but your dad did.
Yeah, my dad used to look forward to them, every week.
Yes, instead of watching TV at night, people would listen to these radio plays. So, excellent job, keep it up.
The Lyndseys kicked off the holiday season in style with an intimate concert over at the Adams Center in Kingston. This three-piece band that features a husband and wife on vocals entertained a larger audience than they may have initially anticipated, as they played some holiday standards and mixed in some Irish classics.
Oh, the Adams Center is a beautiful space. We met one of the people on the board of directors a couple of years ago at an event. We were both performing at the same event, and she really liked what we were doing and asked us if we would come and play. And we had been working on a Christmas program at that time, and we did a St. Patrick's Day show, and then I talked to her about the Christmas show that we were also doing, and she thought that sounded great, so here we are. Last year we recorded our show. And so this year, in a way, is kind of like our CD release. We did the recording here. We recorded it in this space, a Christmas CD. So tonight we're reproducing a lot of that program, and we have our CD, so it's kind of helping to kind of launch the CD officially. One of the things we did to help promote the show and to help share our music with as many people as possible is we have the first 15 or 20 people who come in the door are getting a copy of that CD for free. The CD is called Home Away from Home, and it's a Christmas song that was written by Robbie O'Connell. And in fact, it's not actually a Christmas song, but you start hearing it a lot around Christmas time because that's a time when Irish people living in America tend to go home. And so that song is really about going back to Ireland and seeing your friends in Ireland, but also, being happy there and having that be home, but also coming back here and feeling home here as well. Now, of course, I'm from here, but Steve, my husband and the main singer in the Lyndseys, is from Ireland originally. We like the idea of doing the concert early in the year because we're not tired of Christmas music yet. We're kind of eager to start singing it and to kind of welcome in the holiday. And one of the things for us about, we go back to Ireland maybe every other Christmas. And one of the warmest parts of our visit home is when we see our musician friends there and we get together and we gather in a pub there for a session, singing songs, and you sing Christmas songs and you'll sing Irish songs and play tunes. And that's really kind of the experience that we have and that we associate with going back to see our family in Ireland. So we really want to kind of bring that feeling here as well. So we've mixed up our program with Irish Christmas music as well as some more familiar Irish songs, so people can sing along to the Christmas stuff and sing along to the Irish stuff as well.
We're so pleased to have a special guest on set today. Melanie Moore, welcome Melanie.
Hi.
Hi, who is a lieutenant with the Salvation Army here in Plymouth.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of people that know the Salvation Army by the red kettles and the people ringing the bells.
Oh, yeah.
And from Thanksgiving to Christmas, we see these people. But the Salvation Army is so much more than that.
Yeah, so much more.
So tell me a little bit about what the Salvation Army, especially the division here in Plymouth, does.
Well, the Salvation Army here in Plymouth, we do a lot of feeding. We have a daily feeding program to help those in the community that may not be able to have a hot meal. And we also have children and adult programming, and we do gifts for children throughout the Christmas season. Yeah.
So the biggest objective of when people put money in the pot at the end, wherever they go, you see people smiling faces doing the ringing the bell in all kinds of weather.
Yes.
Bless them, and they're all volunteers. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, they're all volunteers, and you need volunteers.
Yes.
How do people volunteer?
They can come on into our office and fill out a volunteer form, as well as through our website there is a volunteer tab.
Which is salvationarmy.org/Plymouth.
Yes.
Okay, where is your actual office, your building right now?
Right now we are at 8 Carver Street. It's right downtown, right by the Plymouth Rock.
Across from the Rock, yeah. And you're moving?
We are moving to 52 Long Pond Road.
The old Elks.
The old Elks Lodge,
Lodge building. Great. So getting back to when we put money in the kettle, the biggest use of that money, if I hear you right, is to provide gifts and food for children and families around the holidays.
Yes, it also is our budget for all that we do throughout the year.
So whatever is put in those kettles, that's it. That's your operating budget for the whole year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also pick up children after school. You have after school?
Yeah, we have a kids club on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays.
So tell me a little bit about that. What does that entail?
We do pickups for our kids club, and we have homework help. We, of course, play a lot of games. We do a snack each day. We do a dinner once a week with the children.
What are the hours?
From 3 to 6.
From 3 to 6. So that's the good time if the parents are working and there's no one home for the kids. And do you charge for this?
No, we ask for a $5 donation.
Yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
And how many children do you have in this program?
About 30, yeah. So 30
And you
to
pick
40.
them up in the van?
Yes.
From school?
Yes.
Is it all the schools?
No, right now we have Nathaniel, Morton, Hedge, and Cold Spring.
Okay. All right. And so if parents want more information, they can go to your website to get that.
Please.
Okay. Now, a little bit about the Salvation Army. It started, as I hear, a woman went door to door to collect money for her food pantry, and she had a little black kettle.
That's how the kettles kind of started. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it turned in from that.
It boomed into being our sole funding, really. Yeah.
And that was it started in 1865.
1865 is when the Salvation Army started in England. Yeah.
In England. Okay. And it's been in Plymouth here since 1884.
Yes.
Long time.
Here. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, almost since the Mayflower. No.
Yeah, really, really. Now, your budget for the whole year, I was kind of surprised, is $80,000.
Yes.
And that is to run your kids' after-school program. You have some adult programs. You have the feeding of the children and the presents around the holidays.
Yeah, and our social services. We help with heating and rent and other things like that.
And it pays for the few salaries that you have aside from your volunteers. And that's $80,000 for the entire year.
Yeah.
And what are you at right now?
30,000.
You're at 30. So you're behind.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the message? What can we say to people when they approach someone and they're ringing the bell? What should they think about before they walk by without putting $1 or $5 or $10 bill in there?
Helping your neighbor.
Helping. That's the whole mantra is helping your neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So your main fundraiser is your kettle drive every year. We really need people to volunteer to be kettle ringers. And what are the shifts? Like if I volunteered to be a kettle bell ringer?
Right now, we do from 10 to 4 and 4 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
But you have to be outside in all kinds of weather.
Yes, yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Rain or snow, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I had my 6-month-old out with me the other night. We were at the mall, we were inside. But
oh, that's good.
Yeah, he got to stay warm. But
yeah. Now, do you find that most people give you something?
Yes, I do find that people are very generous. Yeah. And anything that is given in those kettles stays here to help those in Plymouth.
In Plymouth.
Yep.
Okay, so it's very much localized. Wherever you give your dollars, that's where your dollars are spent.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so to recap in our last few seconds, you are Lieutenant Melanie Moore with the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
You are running the chapter that's here in Plymouth.
Yes.
You and your husband?
Yes.
Okay, and you have a ton of volunteers. And
We
if
do.
you a few part-time workers, and we really need people to step up and put money in those kettles to call to volunteer to do a shift. Would be great.
It would be.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. And thank you for watching. If you want to see the show again, you can check out our website, and PCN is also on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook to get up-to-date info. We will see you soon.